Hi, welcome to Nashville Area SDA.com, and I'm Cheryl Dennis from Sweet Life Solutions, and today got a treat for you. It's wintertime, and you can still enjoy comfort food even if you're a vegan vegetarian. So today we are in the home of Claire Benson of Claire's Cuisine, and she is going to introduce us to a really delicious yet simple recipe. So stay tuned.
Hello Cheryl, thank you so much. I'm Claire Benson and I am the proprietor of Claire's Cuisine, a catering company. And I'll be demonstrating for you today how to make a vegetarian and vegan pot pie.
Also in the kitchen with us today is Debbie Wright.
Hello, I am so glad to be here today with Claire. I'm a lifestyle teacher and I've been working with Claire, assisting her with her cooking classes for a few years now, and I am so excited to be here today to assist her in making this wonderful dish.
Today I'll be demonstrating how to make vegan chicken or beef pot pie. So what you'll need for this recipe for the crust is 3/4 cup of all-purpose white flour, 1/4 cup of whole wheat stone ground flour, and you'll mix it together with a pinch of salt in a mixing bowl. Next, you will need, for the main ingredient, you will need 1 tablespoon of whole wheat flour, 1 tablespoon of herbamere, 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, 1 tablespoon of parsley, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 4 tablespoons of a powdered soy milk.
Claire, since we're making a vegetarian dish today, can you tell me what type of margarine we should be using?
Yes, Debbie, and for all of you out there watching, we'll be using a product called Earth Balance. It is a non-hydrogenated vegetable oil blend that is going to be heart healthy and it will not elevate anyone's cholesterol levels. The other product we'll be using today is a product that you can find at any grocery store, and it's the Morningstar Farm products. Whether you choose to make a vegetarian chicken pot pie or a beef pot pie, you can use this particular product.
Claire, what other ingredients will we be using today to make this delicious dish?
Okay, Debbie, some of the products we're going to be using is a vegetarian style chicken seasoning. This particular one is by McKay's, and it has no MSG, and it also is very low sodium, and the ingredients are natural. It's suitable for vegetarians and vegans alike. The other product we'll be using will be a natural mineral sea salt. Now be careful when you're choosing sea salts. Make sure it has all the essential vital minerals inside its composite.
Oh, that's great, Claire. We're actually making a dish and learning about the different products that we'll be using. Why are we using sea salt? What's the significance in that?
Sea salts have been unrefined and they contain all the essential minerals that our body needs and can utilize in its natural form. There are 2 particular types of sea salt that we recommend, and one is the Celtic sea salt, which is going to be gray in color. It won't have any anti-caking chemicals. It'll flow freely though, and you can get different grades of coarseness on the salt itself. The other salt that we recommend is the Himalayan sea salt. That comes in larger crystals, and you can put that inside of a pepper mill and grind it to a fine grade.
That's wonderful, Claire. So what other ingredients will we be using?
Well, our market today, vegetarianism has become so popular since most people are concerned about their cholesterol levels and also the sustainability of and respect for animal life. And so this particular product is another one that you can buy at certain health food stores. It's a vegan chicken. It's a very, very good texture, nice, simple ingredients, no preservatives, no artificial chemicals or other additives.
Terrific, Claire. So are we ready to get started?
Yes. Okay. First of all, Debbie, why don't you assist me? And you can make a pot pie along with us so we can all enjoy it together. This particular recipe is for an individual or for 2 servings pot pie. We'll be using these bowls. This is yours, Debbie. So the first thing we want to do is to go ahead and dice up your potatoes. If you have a really large potato, 1 will be enough. for Debbie and I, we had 2 small to medium-sized potatoes, and we're just going to finish dicing this up, and we're going to make them about 1/4 inch thick. You don't want them to be too big because you want to be able to eat this with just a spoon in the comfort of your easy chair with the remote control, watching a good movie or reading a good book.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're going to dice this up really small here. And Cheryl, if you could get us a pot, please. Okay, do you see the size of the pieces? Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this into your pot. And then what we're going to do is to add the 2 cups of water. And you will be able to see the recipe at the bottom of the screen when you get ready to do it. Okay, alrighty. This is the 2 cups of water we're going to add to this. And then we're going to add 1/2 pound of mixed vegetable. These are frozen vegetables you can buy at any grocery store, 1/2 pound. Add that right to it. Okay, and I'm going to ask Cheryl to put that on the stove. And then we're going to get Debbie, yours rolling, Debbie.
Cheryl, may I have another pot?
All right, so Debbie's putting her potatoes in here. And she's going to add to that her water. The 2 cups of water. And then her mixed vegetables. Right in the pot. The potatoes will cook rather quickly because there's more pieces. Then to the pot we're going to go ahead and add our seasoning, which will be the 1 tablespoon of herbamere. You want to put yours in, Debbie, since you haven't put yours on the stove? Got your mixed vegetables and the potatoes and the 2 cups of water, Debbie. The next thing you're going to do is to add your seasoning. We're going to add the herbamere, which is 1 tablespoon of herbamere. We're going to add the 1 teaspoon of onion powder. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of parsley, 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning. Give it a good mix, Debbie. And we're going to put that on the stove and let it do its thing. We're going to reserve the powdered soy milk and the flour. That'll be the last thing we do once the potatoes and the vegetables are finished cooking. Okay, and then we're ready. So while your vegetables and potatoes are cooking, you're going to start working on the crust. So we're going to get our bowl with the flour and the salt mixed in. Do you remember it was 3/4 cup of unbleached all-purpose white flour and 1/4 cup of whole wheat stone ground flour with a pinch of salt. Okay, now for this part you can do several things. You can add a pastry cutter, or you can use a fork or your hands. So right in the mixing bowl you're going to go ahead and put in your 1 stick of margarine. Okay, we're going to add that to it. And then I'm going to use a pastry cutter, and I don't know if you want to use a fork, Debbie, whatever's easier for you. And what you're going to do with the pastry cutter, you're just going to break it right into the margin, and it breaks it up into small little chunks. Okay? And you just keep working it around until you've incorporated it into the flour. And this will just help to go ahead and get everything mixed up nice and easily. Use a knife if you need to scrape it off of the tines of your fork or of the pastry cutter. It'll just help everything blend nice and easy. And you want to work this around until it resembles fine breadcrumbs. And this will work really, really quickly. And you want to just kind of hold the bowl at an angle so that you can get it worked really well together. Once you've got everything really mixed up, next thing you're going to add to this, to kind of bind your dough together, is going to be your chilled water. Now what I like to do with the water is to add a little ice cube to it, or crushed ice, before you start putting your vegetables on, so that the water is well chilled before you begin. Okay, so now you can see my dough looks like starting to take the shape of breadcrumbs. Debbie, oh, you're coming along quite well. Very good.
Claire.
Yes.
I have a question. I noticed when I put the margarine in, it was very soft. So should we have the margarine at room temperature?
For this recipe, it is not necessary to, because you have the chilled water. And you know, this is a quick and easy recipe. It's going to turn out just the same whether you have it room temperature or chilled. I find that chilled, for most cooks that are not novices at cooking, that it's easy when it's just at room temperature because it's harder to blend when it's really cold. Alrighty, so you can see that my bowl right now already looks like breadcrumbs. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is add 1/4 cup of the chilled water to the mixture. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. And then what I'm going to do is just get the mixture just mixed well together to form a dough. Okay. So I'm just using my pastry cutter as if it were a fork or a mixing spoon just to get the dough bound together. And this recipe is so nice, quick and easy. You're not going to have a messy work bowl. It'll bind everything together. And so I'm just cleaning out the blades of my pastry cutter right now. And then I'm going to use my hands to form it in a dough shape. Oh, by the way, what you can do with the wrapper from your margarine is to use it to grease your baking bowl. So that's what I am going to do right now. Nothing is wasted. Everything has a use and a purpose.
I love that suggestion, Claire. That's wonderful.
Okay, so I'm going to use my hands now and just get the dough just bound together. It's such an easy recipe, nothing sticky. The bowl will come super clean, and you'll use every little drop. Alrighty. What you want to do now, once you've got your dough worked together, is to roll it into like a little tubular shape, just rough, and then eyeball it till you get 1/3. Pull off 1/3 and roll it into 2 balls. Then we're going to take our wrapper and the bowl we're going to use to make the pot pie, and just use this to grease the bowl all the way around. Okay, then the 2/3, leave the 1/3 now, and what you want to do is to form it in the shape of a circle and get it as large as you can. This is very rough, like an old country pie. So you don't need a rolling pins, just your hands, all the love from your hands. So once you've got a good shape of a circle, maybe about 6-8 inches in diameter, you're going to place it into your bowl in the center, and then use your thumbs and then work it up the sides of the bowl. Very easy. And this dough is very forgiving. If you've got an area too thin, just push it over there and you can fill in the gaps. Okay. So once you've got your dough mixed, then you're ready to go back to your pot until the ingredients are complete. Now, Debbie, would you like to make a chicken pot pie or a beef pot pie today?
I'll make the beef pot pie.
Okay, so Debbie's going to make beef, and we are going to be using, she'll be using the Morningstar Grillers Original. Okay, I'm going to use this vegetarian chicken. You can use the Morningstar Farm chicken. That crust should look like in your bowl. This is mine and this is Debbie's.
Oh, Claire, I forgot to grease my bowl. Is that going to make a difference?
Sorry, Debbie, if you've forgotten, there's enough margarine in there which will still lubricate the bowl itself, so you won't have too much trouble. And it makes all the more fun to eat when you have to scrape it off the sides.
Sounds delicious. Thanks, Claire.
Okay, so our potatoes and vegetables have finished cooking, and now we've diced up our meat and we've put it in there. Debbie has the beef and I have the vegetarian chicken. And the reason why we don't put this in ahead of time is because vegetarian meat analogs is already a cooked product. You don't need to cook it in there. It's going to cook enough when we put it in the oven. So after you've just stirred it in to the cooked potatoes and vegetables, then we're going to stir in our soy milk. 3 tablespoons of soy milk. It's a powdered soy milk. And we want to quickly just mix that around. That's what's going to give it its creamy texture. And then when we've done that, we're going to add in the 1 tablespoon of whole wheat flour. and then mix that around as well. This is what's going to thicken everything nicely. The last thing we're going to add will be the seasoning. The vegetarian chicken seasoning in mine, and we're adding the 3 teaspoons of the McKay's chicken seasoning in this one, and the 3 teaspoons of the beef flavored in the other. Okay, then we just stir it in. Okay, now we're ready to add our filling. So Cheryl's going to bring our pots over to us. Your potatoes are finished cooking, and now you're ready to add it to the bowl. This is the beef fillings for Debbie's, and this is what it should look like. Here we are, Debbie.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Cheryl.
And this is the chicken one for my pot pie. And this is what it should look like. Now, you'll see it looks a little creamy because we've added our soy milk, which gives it that creamy, and it looks a little thick now because we've added that 1 tablespoon of whole wheat flour, which adds the thickness to it. We're going to go ahead and pour the entire mixture into your bowl. Don't worry if it's full.
Looks great.
Okay, doesn't this look fabulous?
I can't wait to taste
And we want to scrape every last drop into the bowl. Okay. Great.
This reminds me of when I was a kid and my grandmother made those great pot pies. I can't wait to taste this.
Next, you're going to take that little ball of dough, the 1/3 that you had reserved, and you're going to flatten it out by hand into a circular shape and just kind of lay it over the top so you kind of make sure you have approximately the right size to fit nicely over the top. And you can shape it as much as you want. If you find a little split, you can mend it by just forming the dough to build up that little void. Okay. So I think mine is just about the right shape, so I'm going to go ahead and lay mine right over the top. And here we go.
Claire, you know what's also great about this? We have done all of this just by hand. We've had no electric mixers. We've not had to use a food processor. This is just a in-home, at-home, comfort food. Easily.
That's right. We specify simplicity. And so you don't need a rolling pin, just the utensils you have at home in your kitchen, knife and a fork and a bowl. Okay, so once you've formed your crust over the top, you're going to take a fork and just kind of crimp the edges to seal it. And just work it around, just rotate the bowl around while you crimp it with the fork and make a pretty little design. Or if you want to do it by hand, you can use your index finger and your thumb and just tweeze it together like that to make a little rough pastry. Okay, whatever you desire. I'm going to go ahead though and finish off with my fork and just make a nice little crimped edge on my pastry. Okay, the next thing you want to do is to prick some fork holes in the center to let the steam escape. And you can do that several ways. What I like to do when I'm giving these as a gift or preparing it for my family, I will like to write little notes, little words or phrases in the top of the crust, like the word love. And so I'll just take my knife and just form the letter, and then you just kind of outline it a little, and then when you've got the spelling the way you like it, then you can go ahead and put the knife all the way through so that it creates a little hole for the steam to escape while it's baking. So now that I've got my word love on here, Debbie, would you like to write something? Maybe do a love?
I think what I'd like to write on mine is, pardon me, this is my first time. Claire, how does this look?
I think that looks fabulous. Looks like a nice farmhouse type of pie. I love the irregularity. That's just the more fun. You can tell that this is made with love. So Debbie, because it is made with love, why don't you draw a nice little heart on the center?
I'm not an artist, but I will try.
Okay, that looks good. Oh, perfect. You can't make a mistake. Oh, that's beautiful, Debbie. Now that you've done that, I want you to put your knife all the way through so you make a definitive...
In the center?
No, all the way. Trace what you did and just put the knife all the way through so it makes a nice little escape. vent for the steam when you're actually cooking it, okay?
Great.
Great. So I'm going to just trace over what you have. All right, there's your heart. Excellent. Beautiful. So someone knows that was made with love. Okay, so here we have the finished product, both Debbie's and mine. They're both beautiful. You've preheated your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're going to place these on a baking sheet and bake them for 30 minutes. That's all it takes.
All right, let's eat.
Okay.
It looks absolutely delicious.
It does. It smells. All right, let's eat.
All right, Debbie.
This looks absolutely delicious, Claire.
Cheryl.
Not only looks delicious, it smells fantastic.
Oh, I love it. And the aroma in the kitchen while it was cooking.
Oh, yes.
Just
Oh, yes.
It evokes those childhood memories.
absolutely.
Yes.
And if there's anyone asleep in your house, I can bet they will wake up.
Oh, definitely.
So this is the chicken pot pie that we're actually cutting into right now. I'll get myself a piece.
And the recipe, it looks like you can, at least 2 people could
Oh, definitely.
eat
Easily,
this.
yes.
All right,
All right, ladies.
let's taste.
Ooh, very hot.
Mmm. This is amazing. It tastes so delicious.
Claire,
Thank you.
Claire, I have helped you cook quite a few dishes. They're all delicious, but this is absolutely wonderful.
Thank you, thank
Yes.
you. My family loves this, and from my family to yours, we're going to share this with all of you, and we hope you enjoy it as well. Bon appetit.
Claire, how did you get started with Claire's Cuisine, and what's going on with that business?
Okay, Claire's Cuisine came after I did my stint with the restaurant, and it did really well. But I had so many requests to do catering, I really felt that was the avenue that I needed to take. And so I do a lot of weddings, I do special events, I do birthdays, anniversaries, anything that you would like. I am there to help serve in whichever way I can.
Wonderful, Claire, and I actually know a few people you have catered for, and they absolutely loved it and would love to have you cater other events for them.
If you would like to see more recipes demonstrated, you can continue to return to NashvilleAreaSDA.com or SweetLifeSolutions.net. We'll be uploading more videos because we want to promote as much as we possibly can a healthy lifestyle and healthy alternatives to foods that we eat every day. This vegetarian chicken pot pie is just one example of many. So stay tuned. We'll have more details about Claire's next event. We hope to see you next time.